Imagine, the Earth suddenly stops spinning. Right now, you are hurtling eastward at nearly 1,670 kilometers per hour, the speed of a supersonic jet. And then, everything halts. The sky rips open. Winds stronger than any hurricane surge across the surface. Oceans surge like colossal walls of liquid steel. Cities crumble. Mountains feel the strain. You would fly across the landscape as if thrown by a cosmic slingshot. Welcome to the day the world comes to a stop. But what would really happen? Let's dive into this mind-bending scenario. To understand, we need to appreciate what keeps our planet spinning in the first place. Earth is like a giant, cosmic spinning top. It rotates once every 24 hours, a rotation that gives us day and night. The equator, the planet's widest point, moves at roughly 1,670 kilometers per hour. That's faster than a commercial airliner, faster than the strongest tornado. This spin isn't just a quirk of nature. It's a remnant of the cloud of gas and dust that collapsed to form the Sun and planets 4.6 billion years ago. That original angular momentum, the cosmic twist of our solar system, still carries the planet around like a ballerina twirling endlessly on stage. Now, imagine that all of this motion, this relentless ancient spin, suddenly ceases. The very first thing you would notice is chaos. The atmosphere doesn't stop when the ground stops. Air near the equator would continue moving at 1,670 kilometers per hour. The result? Catastrophic winds. Trees would be ripped from the soil. Buildings would be flattened. Cars, buses, anything not anchored down would be hurled like toys. Oceans, too, have inertia. Water near the equator is moving along with the Earth. If the planet suddenly stops, billions of tons of water would surge across continents. Imagine waves taller than the tallest skyscraper, racing inland. Cities like New York, Tokyo, or Mumbai, completely submerged in minutes. But this is just the beginning. Redistribution of oceans, the mega tsunami effect. The Earth isn't a perfect sphere, it's an oblate spheroid, bulging at the equator because of its spin. Oceans pile up at the equator due to centrifugal force. When the spin stops, this force vanishes. The oceans would rush toward the poles, seeking equilibrium. That means entire coastlines could dry out while polar regions are flooded. The redistribution of water alone could reshape continents, erasing familiar landscapes forever. Here's a number to imagine. The Pacific Ocean could surge toward Alaska and Siberia. Waves hundreds of meters high would sweep across northern continents, obliterating everything in their path. Stopping the Earth would put unimaginable stress on its crust. The planet's tectonic plates are always moving, but the sudden halt would trigger a series of mega-earthquakes worldwide. Fault lines like the San Andreas, the Himalayas, or the Andes could rupture simultaneously. Mountains might crumble, cities could vanish in seconds. Volcanoes, too, would erupt violently. Magma, previously stabilized by Earth's rotation and gravitational balance, would explode, blanketing the sky in ash and toxic gases. Lava flows could swallow entire regions. Imagine looking out your window and seeing a curtain of fiery molten rock racing toward you. Not a movie, this is physics on an apocalyptic scale. With no spin, Earth would no longer experience a 24-hour day. One side would face the sun constantly, while the other plunged into eternal darkness. The sun-facing side? Temperatures could soar to 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, maybe even hotter in deserts. The dark side? A frozen wasteland, dropping hundreds of degrees below zero. Winds would redistribute some heat, but nothing could save the extremes. Life as we know it could survive only near the thin twilight zone between day and night, the Terminator line. The familiar rhythm of sunrise and sunset would vanish. Imagine weeks of relentless daylight, then endless nights of chilling darkness. The sudden stop would also wreak havoc on the atmosphere. Earth's rotation drives the Coriolis effect, the deflection of winds and ocean currents that shapes our weather. Without it, weather patterns would collapse. Hurricanes, tornadoes, and jet streams would reorganize chaotically. Storms could last weeks, moving unpredictably across the planet. Air pressure would equalize slowly, But during the transition, winds exceeding 1,500 kilometers per hour could tear through continents. Even the stratosphere would surge violently, stripping layers of ozone, altering radiation levels. Imagine clouds moving faster than fighter jets. Rain would fall like sheets of metal. Lightning storms could stretch hundreds of kilometers. The sky would look alien, terrifying, beautiful, and deadly all at once. You might think, I just stand up and survive. But here's the catch. At the equator, Earth's spin slightly reduces your effective weight. That's why we weigh a tiny fraction less at the equator than at the poles. The sudden stop would remove that reduction instantly. More importantly, the oceans and loose objects, everything not anchored to bedrock, would continue moving eastward at hundreds of meters per second. You wouldn't just fall, you'd be thrown at speeds fast enough to flatten cities. Assuming, somehow, a few humans survived the initial chaos, the world would be unrecognizable. Oceans redistributed. Mega-earthquakes shattered landscapes. The magnetic field, influenced by Earth's rotation, might weaken. Navigation for animals and humans would fail. Climates would stabilize only after decades, creating a world of permanent polar ice caps, scorching equatorial deserts, and a narrow habitable zone along the Terminator line. Even the day-night cycle we take for granted? Lost forever. The concept of a 24-hour day, of mornings and evenings, extinct. Now, let's pause for a reality check. Could the Earth ever just stop spinning? Absolutely not. Stopping a planet is physically impossible with current cosmic forces. Earth's angular momentum is immense, roughly 7.07 times 10 superscript 3 kilogram meters squared per second. To stop it, you would need an unimaginable force equivalent to the impact of a massive celestial object the size of Jupiter crashing into Earth. And even then, Earth wouldn't just stop, it would be obliterated. In other words, this scenario is an extreme thought experiment. It helps us understand the delicate balance of forces that make life possible. Think about it. Our planet, spinning steadily for billions of years, sustaining life, shaping climates, tides, and seasons, all because of a subtle, invisible force. The fact that the Earth keeps spinning day after day, without catastrophic interruption, is nothing short of miraculous. It's a reminder that the universe is vast, chaotic, and incredibly precise. Imagine looking up at the stars, massive furnaces of gas burning millions of kilometers away, galaxies spinning like cosmic pinwheels. And here we are, clinging to a tiny, spinning marble of rock and water, hurtling through space, safe for billions of years because of the delicate balance of motion and gravity. So, what would happen if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Everything we know would be ripped apart in seconds. Oceans would surge. Atmospheres would scream. Mountains would crumble. The familiar rhythms of life, day, night, weather, tides, would vanish. And yet, we don't need to worry. Earth has been spinning reliably for 4.6 billion years and will continue for billions more. Its rotation is a cosmic gift, a silent dance that makes life possible.